So, this is really it. It's, what time is it? 11:40 at night. And I guess my ride's supposed to be here at 3 a.m. And then after treatment, I go. Um, I sat by myself for a majority of the day today. Um, there's a lot of things racing through my mind. Um, I went to go sit with my mom for a while, and we didn't talk much, but you know, I know she was thinking, and I was thinking too. I'm sad that I'm leaving her, but she said I should go with you, and I said, yeah, you should. And she don't have to. She, her kids are grown and she can do whatever she wants. It's like party after the kids are gone, right? Um, I just, I'm just sad because never in my life have I ever done something for myself, and put myself and only myself before everyone else. Like, I don't know if I use that as an excuse to not pay attention to me. I don't know why I do that. I wish I knew why. Maybe I'll know someday. But I was writing. I was writing I was writing while I was sitting there with her. She was beating, and I was just thinking, or writing my thoughts, just so I can get it out. And I'm gonna read what I wrote. I realized that, this is it. Like, I'm really gonna do this. I'm really walking away from the drugs, the lifestyle. And I don't know what's gonna be from it, but I know it's gonna be way better than what I've gone through my entire life. So I hope. I know it's not gonna be easy. Maybe it will be, getting all this shit out of me. All this shit that I've held inside me my entire life. Um, I really hate how this all came about. Why didn't I do this long ago? Why did a tragedy have to happen in order for me to realize that I gotta do something different? I have a second chance at life. My sister doesn't have a life anymore. She lost, and I'm still here for a reason. I'm gonna definitely do some overdose awareness shit when I can, when I'm able to, when I'm well, and get some shit together. Overdose awareness is August 31st, and they do a lot of tribute stuff and a lot of awareness and prevention, whatever. So, I mean, if I can do anything for anyone to try not to end up where my sister is, dead over a heroin overdose, I would like to try to prevent that or help in some type of way, any type of way, give back. I'm blessed to be alive because there's a lot of people that ain't, due to, drug overdoses. On the LCO reservation, they said there was 75 deaths in a year of kids. I was thinking, picturing 75 graves. That's a lot of kids. That's a lot of hurt people. That's a lot of, that's a lot of pain. And that's the families, the brothers, the sisters, the kids they left behind, and including the person that, was in pain and used drugs to cope or get away or deal with life. Like, I know it's not easy. I know why I use drugs, or I could imagine, I don't know if that's why all people use drugs, but I can imagine it has something to do with that or somewhere around that. I don't, pretty sure. Where's this paper that I wrote? I just want to read it because it said a few things. Where is it? Right here. Okay, so it says August 21st, Sunday night. In 10 hours, I will officially be leaving my drug addiction and use behind. Moving forward to the unknown, being open to learn a new life of sobriety and healing to better my life and mentality. I'm not scared. I'm sad because I'm leaving my mom behind. I know she'll be fine, but I'm still sad. She doesn't care to listen to what I have to say or doesn't pay attention to the feelings I express, and that hurts. She's all I have in this world. And I care so much about her. And it feels she doesn't care for my thoughts or feelings or wants or needs. Why it bothers me so much, I don't know. I should be used to it by now. But I'm not. I just want her to give me advice or tell me what to do. But I suppose after so many years of trying to do that with no results, she gave up trying, and I get it. She probably don't believe me, which I understand. I just want her support, but deep down inside, I know she wants to see me succeed anywhere in life. Seeing is believing, so I look forward to the day she's happy and tell me she's proud of me, proud of my accomplishments. I owe that much to her. Gonna miss her, but like I said, I know she'll be okay. I've never in my life did something for myself that I needed to do. I never put myself before everybody else, because in order to do that, I'd have to think about me and only me, and I've never had to do that or never wanted to always always doing that. Because of always doing that, I at the age of 38 have no idea who I am, what I want, to do. I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know what qualities I have. I have nothing. That is good about myself, if there's anything at all. All I've known is that I've been bad for so long that all I know is all the bad things I'm good at. Where did that come from? Why do I think all I am is bad, and all I know how to do good is being bad and doing bad things? I don't know anything I'm good at. I'm good for or good at. Now that I really think about it, it's sad. And that's true. Because, had I put me before anyone else and stuck to that, I might be somewhere different. Um, I wish it were different. Um, I'm so ready for it though because I'm just tired. Someone has to break the cycle, and I guess it's gotta be me. Um, I want to tell a story about my Moni, my sister Simone. Um, that's my auntie Stephanie's daughter. My auntie Stephanie was like my favorite idol. I loved her so much. She was so beautiful. You know, when I was younger, she was so sweet to me, and my grandma raised me, and that was my grandma's baby was Stephanie. So I kind of was my grandma's baby after Stephanie. You know, was growing up and blossoming into, you know, being an adult. I remember riding the bus with my auntie Steph, and um, I just loved her so much, and I thought she was just the beautifulest woman ever. And she was. And I remember when I don't even know how old I was. Let me see. Simone was born in 1993, so I was 10 years old, I think, 10 or 11. And I remember seeing my auntie Stephanie was pregnant, and I was so happy that she was pregnant. You know, I was like, "Oh my God, auntie, you're gonna have a baby!" And she's like, "Yeah," because she kept it hidden, you know, until she was showing. So before Simone was born, like, I was so excited for her to come here, and I couldn't wait. And I was happy my auntie was pregnant. And when she had Simone on her birthday. Her She had her first daughter on her birthday. What a beautiful gift. um, so I loved Simone before she was born, before she was here. I couldn't wait for her to get here. And when she was born, she was the cutest, fattest little thing, you know, and I just loved her. I was like obsessed with her. I always played with her. I remember looking in the crib all the time at her, you know, talking to her and playing with her. And when I was able to hold her, I remember always holding her all the time and playing with her. And my auntie always used to dress her so cool. Like, she was the fattest little baby, and she was so cute. And my auntie always used to dress her like really cute, like a little tomboy wearing like Chicago Bulls outfits and, you know, cool stuff, cool clothes. And she was bald and fat. But I remember playing with her all the time, and I just loved her. And I never stopped loving her. I was always fond of her, her whole life. She was special to me. So I never told her that. I never told her that I loved her before she was born, and she meant a lot to me. I mean, she knew she was my favorite of everybody because, like, I treated her like my favorite. I treated her better than I treated my own little sister. I spoiled her, and, you know, I looked out for her better than I looked out for anybody else. And, you know, I know my other cousins, it caused jealousy. I know that. I don't know why, because I don't know why everybody loved me and wanted my attention or whatnot, but Simone was my favorite, and she's the one. She's my best friend. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but, you know, when Simone was sober and stuff, like, I wasn't the type of person to be like, oh, hey, want to get high? I was like that big sister, like the mom. You know, ever since my auntie passed away, you know, she had, you know, my mom. She came to stay with me and my sister and my mom, and, you know, she had my mom as a mom, but I felt like I was more of a mom to her after my auntie left, because I kind of like stayed on her about, you know, what she should do and shouldn't do, and, you know, whatever. I cared about her feelings and whatnot, and, you know, I wasn't the perfect person to save her or nothing, but all I could do is just support her in every way possible and try to, you know, give her advice to feel better or whatnot. Um, when Simone was sober, I encouraged her to be sober, and I was still using, and I was selling drugs, flipping drugs, to get drugs to stay high, obviously. Um, while she was sober, I respected her sobriety and I kept my distance from her. I wouldn't use in front of her. I wouldn't let her come near me and what I had going on. She knew what I had going on, and we talked about it, and I just told her that don't think that I don't think about you every day and that I don't care about you. It's just that I respect you, your sobriety, and I don't want to be a trigger or nothing. I want you to do good because you know I want to support you even though I'm not sober or whatnot, but I just want to be, a cheerleader for you, and I don't want to be an enabler to her because um she needed to be sober to get things done, and when she was sober she got a lot of things done. Like after a while I was so proud of her because she's done things that I've never seen anyone else do, and it takes a lot to do that. She did it. So when she was sober, I never brought drugs to her. I never used around her. I never brought any of my riffraff around her. I did all I could to keep it out of her way. And because I knew that a sober person is, not 100% uh, okay they're not strong right away enough to be around people using or whatnot, because if it could weaken them and cause them to use. So that's why I always kept my distance with it. I thought she was so strong, because she was doing it, and I didn't realize how alone she was. you know she had to stay away from everybody because her sobriety was at risk, and there's everyone in our family uses and whatnot, so she had to stay away from everybody in order to stay sober. And I didn't realize until later on that she was alone. She was lonely. And when she would use again, she would, there's everybody, all the family, everybody, whatever. She would relapse, and then she would get back to her business and get back to being sober. I didn't realize that her loneliness was severe to where she thought, you know, I honestly think that my sister committed suicide, just because of the things that happened and the way it happened. She came to me this one day and she was gonna tell me something, and I don't know what she was gonna tell me, but I stopped her from talking. She was telling me, she was crying, and she was telling me that she had a bad court date, and she then started talking about how how she was gonna let Rachel keep Junior because Junior loved Rachel. And I stopped her right there, and I was like, no. I was like, you're not gonna give up on him. I got mad at her, and I was like, don't do that. You're not gonna give up on him, Simone. I was like, he loves you. He wants to come home. I was like, don't give up on him. And no, because I knew that once her other kids got adopted out, that she was really sad, and there was nothing she could do about it after they were adopted out. And then she got pregnant again, and I told her, I was like, this is a blessing to you. This is gonna fix your hole in your heart and give you a chance to be a mom again. And she was doing so well. She had Junior for over a year before um she relapsed and they took him from her. And then there she was again battling CPS and whatnot. And she was doing so good. And she almost had him back again. And every time her baby's daddy would get out of jail and come back in her life, like, he would, I blame him for, her throwing away, or him being her downfall, because, like, she would always do so good, and he'd be in jail and he'd be gone, and then, she'd be by herself, and she'd get so much done and do it so well. But anyway, so she came to me and she was telling me that, and I was like telling her, I was like, no, Simone, like, you can't just give up on Junior. Like, he wants to come home. Like, how to do it. You almost, you had him home. He was just home. And then Dwayne got out of jail again and then fucking ruined everything again, like always. He he was such a shitty fucking person that he couldn't just be, by himself in his feelings. He had to bring her with her. He couldn't let her move along and get the kids back. He had to make sure that he wasn't the only one that was a shitty person. So he had to make sure that, she was right there with him, so that he wasn't the only one. I don't like him for those reasons, that he was her downfall. I blame him for the kids being gone, all of them, because she was fine with them until he would come around, and they would get taken. And she knew that when she had Junior, she was doing fine. Dwayne was in jail, and I was helping her with baby. I was watching him while she was going to work and whatnot. And I told her, I said, just because CPS isn't here now, I said, they're gonna show up. They're low key watching you, so you can't mess up. And if they know Dwayne's here, like, they're coming. They're gonna know. And they're gonna take him. And sure enough, Dwayne got out of jail, and I think Junior was like 13 months old. And yep, I didn't even know that she got him taken. Actually, she kept it hidden from me because she knew I'd be on her ass. I'd be upset, and so anyway, she was telling me that she came to me that day in my room, probably about 3 weeks before she passed away in May. And I never let her finish telling me what she was trying to tell me. I don't know what happened at court. I don't know exactly what happened, but it wasn't good. And then that day she went storming, or not storming, her car was broken. She was stuck on the res. So she didn't like to ask people for stuff, even though, people didn't weren't shy to ask her for stuff, But she took off walking, and it was cold and winter out yet. And my mom happened to see her. And then my mom seen her hat on the road, and then seen her walking, miles down the road. So my mom was like, what the heck, what's going on? She then pulled up to Simone and asked her, what was going on. And she was crying, and she told my mom that she messed up. She messed up, and she was crying, I messed up, Auntie, I messed up. And that's all she said. She threw her hat on the road like she was, like that was going to be all that was left or something. That's like the message my mom got out of it. I really regret stopping her from talking and telling me what she was going to tell me. I should have just let her tell me whatever she was going to tell me. But, I talked her into, like, don't give up on Junior. Like, how to get back to, being accountable and whatnot. You have the tools. Like, she successfully completed drug court. She had she knew how to live and be sober. Like, she did it all on her own. She lived in the city of Rice Lake, and she worked. She paid her own rent. She paid her own bills. She took care of herself, and she did it all by herself, you know. So like she was different. She wasn't in, you know, that's hard. We all know that's hard to live off the res, and she don't have a mom. She don't have anyone that she can call for help. So she did it all by herself. You know, she learned how to do it. Um. So, uh, when I got my criminal complaint, my accusations of let me see. I wish I had my criminal complaint because I'd read it to you guys, but my criminal complaint to my charges that I'm being accused of. I'm being accused of first-degree reckless homicide, delivered drugs, and second-degree reckless endangering safety, because of a phone call. I wish I would have never reached out to Dwayne and, you know, told him I was sorry, you know. I know my sister loved him or whatnot, but I hated him a lot for being her downfall. You know, he was the type of, he didn't respect her sobriety like everybody should have, you know. He was the type of person that would go to her house, you know. He never did nothing. He never helped her pay bills. I can remember when their daughter was born, Naya, when she was first born, and you know, I was helping Simone take care of her. Of course, you know, I love babies, but it'd always be me and her, you know, and Dwayne would be out running around. And I remember he had got a payment and she needed a stroller, and he had like 20 grand or something, and I told her to ask him to buy her a stroller, you know. He has money. Why wouldn't he want to buy his daughter a stroller, you know, or his... But she asked him, and he never got her a stroller. So, you know, I knew from the beginning that if a man can't change for his firstborn child, especially his baby girl, I knew that, you know, he would never be a dad. He would never be he would never step up and be a dad, you know. And Simone was, you know, I suppose caught up in whatever, chasing him around, whatever. But she wasn't wrong, you know. Why should she have to be the only one to take care of the baby? Whatever. So I have a lot of bad feelings. But anyways, in my criminal complaint, it said that my sister, one of her last text messages that she sent, was to one of her ex-boyfriends, her childhood boyfriends. And I guess she said, "I'm sorry for everything." So this is what makes me think that she commit suicide. My mom kind of always thought that she did it herself, and that's what it was suicide. But I myself just felt like guilty or whatnot, because I know that I got high with her the night that she died. And I was like one of the last people to see her. I'm not sure if I was the last person to see her, but I was one of the last, you know. What, you know, the truth about that shit, like, you know, I told Dwayne, I called him, or I went out of my way to, because I felt bad, because I knew that she loved him, and you know, I outreached him because I knew that he was sad, and he didn't get to go to her funeral or whatnot, and I know, you know, he was obsessed with my sister, like, though he never did nothing good for her or whatever besides bring her down and whatever. I reached out to him in jail, and you know, I sent him an email, and I was like, you know, I know my sister loved you a lot, and I know you loved her a lot, so I just want to, you know, let you know that, like, I'll always, you know, though we didn't get along, like, I'll always, you know, care about you and, you know, love you, like, you know, like my sister did, because she's not here no more. And I reached out to him, and I told him I was sorry and whatnot, and I felt bad because he wasn't able to go to her funeral. And I told him about the night that I seen her last. It was the night before she died. And he went to prison, and he called me from prison, and he was telling me that he heard from the investigators that they think they know, or they have whatever, an idea of who gave her whatever that she overdosed on. And he said he heard it was like Tyrone or something, and I started crying, and I was like, I'm not sure, at this point I didn't know what I knew after I got my criminal complaint. I honestly had thought that, that it was what I got high with her with. The night that, the day that she died, or the day before she died, I went and I got heroin in the cities, and I asked her to drive me, but she had a visit with Junior and whatnot, and by the time I found a ride, I was already gone. So, by the time she responded, I was already on my way to the city, so she didn't end up driving me or whatever. I went to the cities, did whatever I did, and my mom started calling me because I had her car, and she's like, "Simone's here waiting for you," and I was like, "Well, I don't know why. I didn't tell her that. I didn't tell her to wait there for me. I don't know why she's waiting there for me. Like, like I said before, I was the type of person that just wouldn't enable her just because, I wouldn't. But there would come a point where, like, she would come and see me and she'd already have shit. So therefore, like, what could I do? Might as well get high with her. I regret, keeping my distance from her because I respected her, or didn't want to be like, didn't want her around me or my peoples because, I didn't want her to have connections or whatever. Just wanted her to do better, do well. But, I have a lot of guilt, and, when I got my criminal complaint anyways, it said that they found, crushed pills, blue crushed pills by her, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that that's what they found by her until I got the criminal complaint, and I didn't have pills. I had heroin. So I then, after I received the criminal complaint and read it and whatnot, I then